Setting up your desk is not difficult. However, ensuring you actually get these small details that are often missed will make a huge difference for you over a long period of time. And most importantly, making sure that you avoid these 5 common mistakes that most people seem to make will mean not only will you have less pain after sitting at the desk for a long period of time, but you'll actually be able to sit there longer and therefore be much more productive. And so in this video, I'm going to show you not only what these are, but most importantly, what you can do today to correct them that is really quick and really easy. Let's begin. Hello and welcome back. My name is Dr. Steven Hulme. I am a chiropractor here at Northwood Chiropractic, Oxford. And today we're going to be looking at some of the most common mistakes that people make when setting up their desks. So we're going to dive straight in to the first one. And this one, I think, is probably the one that sits at the foundation of a lot of the problems that people have. And if you were just to get this one, that in it alone will make a really big difference for you going forwards. And that is adapting yourself to your desk position. So often what people will do is set up their table or their desk. They'll put their monitor on the top, they'll put their mouse and keyboard on the table, and then put their chair into a position. Then they will sit there, and then depending on the position of everything that they set up, they will then adapt themselves to that position so that they can see what they need to see. The problem about that, of course, is it means that you are compromised. It means that your spine is going to be put in an awkward position. And even though at that time that's not necessarily going to be an issue, you might feel fine in that specific moment, or even for days or weeks to come. But over a period of time, you're eventually going to start to notice problems in your spine, whether it's pain or dysfunction, that seems like it just comes out of nowhere. And so if you are one of those people that have an issue that you've no idea where it came from, this may be something to look at. So of course, what we need to do is make sure we set ourselves up first and then adapt our desk around us. So the best and easiest way to think about how to set yourself up is to think about sitting tall. You always want to be the tallest person in the room. And once you're in that position and you're comfortable and you're relaxed, but you're upright and looking straight ahead, then position your desk, position your chair, position your screen. Now, if you need help on actually positioning those things, then in my last video, I went through the 5 most critical steps that you need to follow to be able to correctly set up your desk and yourself to make sure that you're in the best possible position. Then number 2 is working directly from a laptop. This is a very common mistake as well. So many of us nowadays have laptops. They're easy, they're convenient, they're compact. They have everything together that you need. And particularly if you're somebody that works on the go, whether you're traveling and you're working in different positions or even in different positions in the house, it's really nice to have a laptop and to work from a laptop. Now the problem is it's almost impossible to have a good posture, to have a good position while working from a laptop. And the reason why is because the screen is attached to the keyboard, so you really can't disassociate the two, and you need to be able to be able to actually be able to put yourself in a good position. So fortunately, there are 2 options. You don't necessarily have to scrap your laptop. There are 2 options. Now, the gold standard is to get a monitor, get a mouse and a keyboard, and just plug it into your laptop so that you can then move everything accordingly to where you need it to be. Now, if you're somebody that does move position a lot, whether you're traveling, then obviously this is not a great solution for you. So the second option, and it's also a slightly cheaper option, is that you can just buy a laptop stand, and that will enable you to put your laptop on a stand, which means that you can put the screen at the right height and at the right angle, and then you just need to buy a mouse and keyboard. That will mean that you can disassociate the screen from the mouse and the keyboard, and you can put everything then in the right position. But it also means everything there that you have to buy is very light, very portable and compact. So it means you can actually have a good position even when you're working at different stations or different tables, wherever that may be, whether you're working abroad or working in different environments. Now, number 3 is staying in one position all day. Now, this is a big problem because our joints aren't really designed to be in one position all day. And what a good position really does is just puts those joints in neutral. A joint in neutral is going to be able to last much longer when it's not moving compared to a joint that's not in neutral. So you want to put yourself in neutral. However, you do want to keep moving positions, because what that's going to do is spread out the pressure in your spine. So there's a couple ways you can do this. You can just be a bit fidgety on your seat and just move around a little bit, but it is a bit difficult and actually it's hard to do that effectively. The best way of achieving this is to keep changing from standing to sitting. And the easiest way to do that is to get a standing desk. And this is a great opportunity for me just to talk about Domly, which is a company that sent me a standing desk. This is actually the first time I've had a standing desk like this. And I can tell you, to achieve this position change, having a standing desk that easily goes up and down is one of the best ways of achieving that. And the nice thing about this desk, about this standing desk, is that it has a motor, and you can also set the positions that are specific for you, which means that you're adapting your environment rather than you adapting yourself to the environment. And the better that the desk works for going up and down, and the easier that is, the more likely you are going to actually do that. If it's a difficult task or it doesn't really work very well, then you're actually less likely to change position. So one of the things I can really recommend is get a good quality standing desk, one where you can preset those positions, so that when you want to go from sitting to standing or standing to sitting, all you need to do is click the button and it just does it automatically. And if you're looking for a standing desk in the UK, I really can recommend Domly. Fantastic company and a fantastic product. You won't be disappointed. I personally got the one with the oak top and the rounded corners. Now the question is, how long should you spend sitting and how long should you spend standing? To be honest, I would just suggest do it as frequently as possible. The more times that you can change position, the better. Obviously, you're only going to be able to change position as much as you practically can. So you've got to work out how often that is with you. Number 4 is not taking enough breaks. So as I mentioned, having a good position is good, but even a good position, when sustained for a long period of time, is still problematic. Joints are designed to move. So if they're not moving over time, they will still cause some issues. So here, what's really important is how frequent you move, not necessarily how long you're moving for. So frequency trumps duration. So what I suggest to most people is get up every 20 to 30 minutes. The good news is that you only have to do that for about 30 seconds. You can do longer, but it's more important that you do short duration and then to be able to do that more frequently, rather than doing a long duration and doing it very infrequently. Now, I know some people may say, oh, I don't have time for that. And I know what it's like. It's really easy to get into a task and for time just to run away from you. What I say to that is that if you don't act now and actually move regularly, what you end up doing in the future is your body will force you to do that. And actually it's going to cost you more in time and in your finances for when you start to get issues in the spine and you have to invest in something new, whether it's a new table or just investing in your own health to be able to get yourself out of pain. If you make this small change now, then you can actually avoid that in the future. It means that you'll actually have more time at the desk and being productive, and it's going to cost you a lot less. And number 5 is not sharpening your saw. It is so easy to get bogged down with work and so focused on work, whatever it may be that you're doing, and think that we can't sacrifice a little bit of time just to be able to assess our position and our situation to see how can we make it slightly better. Because a slight difference can make a huge difference for you in the future. And spending that time would actually mean that you're going to save time going forwards, and it's also going to cost you less, and it means you have the chance to avoid actually having pain. It also means you can be more productive because you can more consistently keep on working without being out for a long time with back issues. They are the most common mistakes that I personally see. If there's any others, please do put them into the comments. I'd love to hear from you as well. And implement at least one of these things that I went through today and see how much of a difference it makes. When you see that difference, go back and implement the other 4. I hope you've got some value from this. And if you have missed my last video, check that one out. I'll put that on the screen now. That one I go through the 5 critical steps to position your desk correctly. And then if you have watched that, then you can check out my next video, which is going to be put just here. Thanks for watching. See you next time.